Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry I'm late this morning. So, as always, please practice according to your condition. And if you know the practice well, you know the variations, I invite you to do the practice in accordance to the variations according to your abilities. Otherwise, please respect your limitations. Remember, the practice is an offering, and how we're feeling is to an extent affecting everybody. So practice in a way that is mindful and that delivers the best experience. So on that note, let's begin. Please come into seated position. Sit tall and supreme, close your eyes. And take a moment to go inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to attract divine attention. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your thoughts in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. Om Namah Shivaya. I bow to inner light. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 I am not this body is not me. 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 Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. I am neither body nor mind, immortal self-am I. I am neither body nor mind, immortal self-am I. I am neither body nor mind, immortal self-am I. I am neither body nor mind, immortal self-am I. Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we always have a strong desire for the knowledge that liberates us from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Only peace, love, joy, and compassion. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Let's do the mantra for purification. If you don't know it, just imagine you're chanting it through the voice of the Guru and you derive the benefits as though you were chanting it perfectly. Those benefits being the purification of the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. Do it 3 times. Each time do it loud enough so it can be heard by the subtle bodies within, and subtle bodies within, as well as all around us. And try to do it in a single breath if you can, each time. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Pihantraha Schihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Pihantraha Schihi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Pihantraha Schihi. So now let's do the seed mantras, the bija mantras. There is 7 chakras, so there are 7 seed mantras. There's 7 tones with each time you concentrate on each of the chakras. So call and response. Visualize a color and bring your attention to that area of the body. Imagine that they're like gates opening up. And when those gates open up, the energy can fly right up. But the energy can only come up when it's triggered by your ability to just stay in observance with the ethical rules, yama and niyama. Ahimsa first and foremost, which is compassion, comporting yourself in a way that doesn't bring about pain or suffering to any being. So let's try to just bring up that energy through the observance of those ethical rules. So starting at the base of the spine now, picture the color red at Muladhara chakra. Lam, 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 lam. Repeat. Lam, 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 lam. Go now to the next chakra, Svadhisthana, located at the sacral area. Color is orange. Vam, 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 vam. Together. Vam, 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 vam. Next, Manipura at the navel. Color is yellow. Rum, 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 rum. Rum, 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 rum. Next, go up to the heart. Anahata. Color is green. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. Now the throat, Vishuddha. Color is blue. Hum, 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 hum. Hum, 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 hum. Let's go to third eye, Anya. The color is indigo. Om, 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 om. Om, 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 om. Finally, the crown, the color is violet. One long sustained Om. Just allow the breath to carry the sound until you run out of breath. Imagine trying to make it reach the ends of the universe. Inhale. Color is violet. Once again, inhale. Now, pure fire pranayama. Imagine being purified from the inside out. You bring all the purifying effects all the way throughout the body. Carry them up the spine, right up to the crown. Exhale. Imagine you're letting go of all the impurities that exist at all levels. So do it 4 counts for the inhale. You're lifting the chest on the inhale. And then hold the breath. Keep your chest high so you can bring your chin down without hunching your back. And contract the root muscles. Lift the pelvic floor up towards the navel. That's a root lock. The throat lock is bring your chin on your chest and bring your tongue to the roof of the mouth behind your teeth. And bring the attention to the space between the eyebrows. Hold it for 12 counts. Holding the breath closed, the nose closed, and then exhale through the left side. And you let go of the breath in the way for 8 counts to allow, and you just try to synchronize the exhale so that you're completely empty by the 8th count. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, second finger and thumb connected, other 3 fingers on the knee. Right hand, second, third fingers fold down. This is Vishnu Mudra. When you turn the palm towards you, it becomes a mudra that we use for the pranayama. Thumb for the right nostril, right ring finger for the left. So on the breath retention, we plug both sides of the nose. On the exhale, we just let go of the right ring finger to breathe out to the left. So let's begin. We'll just do it 3 times. So imagine all the purifying effects taking place here. Remember, the most important and the primary purifier is ahimsa. Again, observance to ethical rules. And exerting loving compassion to all beings. So stay up tall and straight. Exhale, completely empty the lungs. Inhale now. 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath. Third eye attention. 2, 3, 4. Apply the throat and the root lock. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side, release the locks. 2, 3, 4. Gradually exhale. 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale through both nostrils. 3, lift up the chest, hold the breath. Third eye attention. 2, Janadara Bandha Mula Bandha. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more time. Inhale. Raise the chest. Hold the breath. Apply the throat and a root lock. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exhale out to the left side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Release. Staying tall and straight now. Spiritual breathing to establish a deeper connection with the divine essence within. It's reside in the spiritual heart. The spiritual heart is in the center of the chest and the right side of the physical heart. Imagine God residing there. Bring your arms up, the palms slightly turned upwards. On the inhale, bring in the best of the best universe down from the arms, through the arms into the heart. 2, 3, 4. Feel yourself being flooded by that goodness. 6, 7, 8. Holding at the heart, hold the breath. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale out through the arms. Just a breath leaves everything you pulled in stays within. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale again, down everything you need from the universe down into the spiritual heart. 3, 4, feel it coming in at full force. 6, 7, 8, holding on the heart as an offering to God and therefore to all beings. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale again out through the arms. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, inhale down from the fingertips, drawing the best of the best. All that you need down into the heart. Keep feeling it flooding in. Holding it now at the heart again as an offering to God and as a result to all beings, for God is present equally in all beings. Exhale out through the arms again, just a breath. Everything that you took in stays within. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the hands down now. And now we're about to begin the practice. Stay in that mindset of offering everything up. Everything we have is meant to be shared with all beings. Do the practice as though you're a divine duty to all beings. And try to again see God in all the forms. So now let's come to standing again. Okay. Now, standing with your feet apart, we'll do some warm-ups just to prepare the body for the practice. Start to swing from one side to the other. Rope the arms around the body. Feel like they're heavy ropes. And then start to shake the shoulders faster and faster. Allow the head to just go in all directions. You have to feel all the joints. But now slowing it down. Take the hands on the hips. Circle the head. Making large circles as possible with the chin touching the chest. The ears to the shoulders. The back of the head to the top of the back. And then switch the direction of rotation. Wherever the head is in its rotation, try to keep the eyes on the ground, even when the head goes back. Now the right arm circles forward. Feel as though you're holding a weight of 5 pounds in your hand. Go the other direction now. Other arm, left arm forward. And then go backwards, winding up as though you're about to prepare to throw a ball. Bring the arms out in front and then circle in opposite directions. Come back to the center and change directions. And then release. Now take the arms up over the head. Take all the opposite elbows, bend to your left. Come up, go to the other side. Hollow out the underside of the body. Try not to make wrinkles in the waist. Come up, go to your left again. Pull on the elbow, try not to hunch forward. And then go to the other side. And then coming up to the center, little circles over the head. Moving mostly the head, neck, and shoulders at the start. And then gradually starting to get bigger and bigger. The circles, the chest and the upper back coming into the movement. Starting to feel it in the waist now. And then finally, if you feel apt to do so, circle the whole trunk like a big windmill. Allowing the forearms to pass over the feet. Coming all the way back up, and then switch directions. Starting again with little circles over the head. And then gradually getting bigger, the chest and the upper back coming into the movement. Keep pressing your hands into the elbows. So you're trying to push them together. And then now the full circle of the torso. Slowing the body down. coming right back up. And then release. Good. Now shake out the wrists, move the fingers very, very rapidly. Like you had no control over the hands, are moving all by themselves. Then up and down, flapping them like the wings of a hummingbird. So fast, can't even see them move. Good. Now bring your arms out to the side, swing the right leg back and forth. If you need to, you can bring your hand to a wall or something, the right hand, the left hand, and then swing the leg back and forth. Try to get your knee right to the shoulder. Throw the leg back as though you're trying to kick yourself in the head from behind. And then the other leg now, left leg. Lean forward a little bit when your leg comes up. And then release. So now, bring your feet together, the arms by sides of the body, head down, humility pose. 6 counts come up. Inhale, 2, 3. Lift up off the heels, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. And down, 2, 3. I should move back here. Inhale, up, 2, 3. Start to lift the heels and the palms, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. And down slowly, 3. Feel the arms floating up by themselves. Pretend you're the witness watching the body moving. Rise up tall, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3. And down, 2, 3. One more time. Inhale. Come up higher, lift up off the heels, engage the leg and the root core. Exhale, 2, 3. And down, 2, 3. Bring your chin back down onto the chest. Stay in that humble mindset all throughout the practice. Renounce all the fruits of the practice. Let go of all expectations. Let go of all attachments to the results. Just do the practice because it must be done for the benefit of all. So now come to the front of the mat here. Hands to the heart. Surya Namaskara. So imagine moving with all beings all together like a school of fish to stay in the collective mind of offering. Raise your arms up over the head, arch back, fold forward. Bring your hands down to the ground, bend your knees if you need to get your hands to the ground. Right foot back, lower down the knee, drop down to the seat. Come into the high plank, lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. Glide forward between your arms, smoothly. Roll the shoulders back, arch the back, Bhujangasana, Cobra. Take your seats back again behind the heels. Come forward again, glide between your arms. Roll the shoulders back. Extend the neck out the shoulders. One more time. Come all the way back. Brush the nose to the ground as you come forward. Make like a snake creeping through the grass. Imitate the snake on all levels. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. See God in all the forms again. Bring the heart down, Adho Mukha Svanasana, the head down below the arms. Then the right foot steps forward. If that's difficult, lower the back knee down. If the foot doesn't make it all the way, use the right foot, right hand to slide the foot forward. And then bring the feet together, chest on the thighs, head down. Come right to standing, arch back. And bring the hands back to the hearts. Go up and back again. Stretch the whole front of the body. Fold the body down. Uttanasana. Chest on the thighs, head close to the feet. Left foot back. Push the seat in. Drop your hips very close to the heel in the front. Then into high plank. The knees down, the seat all the way back. Glide again between your arms. Blessed are those who can imitate the teacher, the forms physically. Take the seat again, back. Twice blessed are those who can imitate the teacher mentally. Be regal and wise, just like the snake. One more time, take the seat back. Infinitely times blessed are those who can imitate the form spiritually. Tap into the divine essence of all forms, which is within and present within each form. And each and every form. Take the seat up and back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward to the hands, drop down to the seat, and little feet come together, bow to the legs, gesture of humbleness. Come right back up, Hasta Uttanasana, and come back home, hands to the heart. Raise your arms above the head, stretch, fold forward, Uttanasana. Right foot back, into the plank. Bring the knees down, the seat back. This time, as your hips come into your hands, press the hips and knees away from the ground. Upward facing dog. Charge the legs. Back over your toes into downward facing dog. Melt the heart. Soften the line in the back. Then the right foot steps forward. Try not to land the foot heavily. No heavy footfalls. No jerky movements. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come up. Make the expression, every pose an expression of divine love and grace. Bring the arms up, make it the best offering you can, and worthy of God's attention. Take the head down towards the feet, left foot back, into the plank. Lower down the knees, the seat all the way back. Come again, forward, and hips come to your hands. Lift the hips and knees away from the ground. Make sure you don't jam up your neck, telescope your neck out the shoulders. Roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Savasana. Left foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana. Move with mindfulness, with consciousness. Take the arms up over the head. Come back home, hands to the heart. Go up. Go down. Don't worry about the breath. Just move the body in a way that feels natural, that allows breath to remain steady and uniform. The right foot is back here, into the plank. From here, bring your seat back. Try not to drop your hips to the ground as you come forward, or your knees. Pull the elbows into the sides of the body, right to upward facing dog. Of course, modify if you need to. Now bend the toes under here, move your hips a little bit further forward, and then bounce a little bit here. Pulse, try to get your nose up. Look like a dog howling at the moon. Keep your neck long, the lower back, free of wrinkles, the back of the neck, free of wrinkles. Now push into the hands, pull your belly button in, and then down into downward facing dog. Pulse here again. Try not to bend your arms. Keep a nice long line from the fingertips all the way to the seat. Belly comes towards your thighs, your heart melts down. Look at the dog stretching its back. And express that beautiful quality of the dog, the loyalty to its master. Now from here, looking forward, right foot forward. And then bring your feet back together, Uttanasana. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up. Hands back to the heart. Just move the body, the breath will follow and deliver more grace and power and ease. And then down we go. Left foot back. Into the plank. Again, bring the seat all the way back. If you can, start your center to go upward facing dog right from back there without touching your knees and hips to the ground. And then from here, downward facing dog. And then from here, come forward again. 2 more times. Round your back, push your chart up into your shoulder blades. And then forward, right through the center of the chest, back the other way immediately. Round your back, hollow out the navel, and then back into downward facing dog. 1 more time, round your back, roll forward. And then uncoil, push the shoulders back, telescope the neck out of the shoulders, heart forward, back the other way, round your back. And then back into downward facing dog. And then the left foot steps forward to the hands. Feet together, Uttanasana, pull the body to your legs. Come right up to standing, arch back. Hands back to the heart. Go ahead, another variation here. Raise your arms up. Go forward and down. Now from here, lift the head and chest, press into your hands. Bend your elbows and jump back. If it's too much, you just walk back into Chaturanga, hovering just above the ground. Into upward facing dog. And back into downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees up to the hands, hold your breath. Bring the feet forward softly, jumping or walking. Pull the body down onto your legs. Come right up to standing. Hands back to the heart. Go up again. And go down. Lift the head, press into your hands. Bend your elbows so when you go down, you don't come down with a big jarring heavy movement. And then into upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Lift the heels, look between your hands. Come forward very softly, Uttanasana. Come right to standing, reach up over the head. And the hands back to the heart. One more. Raise your arms up, arch back. And come forward and down. Hands on the ground. Now here you can do a few things. Here you can just lift up your heels and come back down. Rock back onto your toes. Come forward to your shoulders or the fingertips. If you want, you can press into your hands into the ground. Hold your breath. See if you come up into tuck. Try to get your seat right over your wrists and back down. One more time. If you want, and if you want, you can come into chaturanga the next time. You can extend the legs, back into chaturanga, through into upward facing dog, back into downward facing dog. Now lift your heels. Here you have a choice. Just rolling forward, shoulders over the fingertips, and send your seat all the way back and propel yourself forward again 3 times. Or if you want, incorporate a float. Bend your knees, land your belly on your thighs. Push into your hands. Get your seat, folks. I'm not doing so well today. And come up again. And then the 3rd time, land your feet at the hands. Pull the body down onto your legs. Uttanasana. Whatever happens, be unconcerned. Just do your best. Raise your arms up over the head. Arch back. Come back. Hands to the heart. Take pause here for a moment. From the heart, inhale up to the space between the eyebrows. Hold the breath. Imagine all the love from the heart going into all the beings everywhere. And exhale back down to the heart, remain established divine love towards all beings everywhere. And release. Bring the hands down. And then we'll continue with balance poses. Standing on your left foot first. Take the right foot up. Hold the inside of the heel if you can. If you're having trouble bouncing, you can stand against the wall. Take your foot out to the side. Try to have your arms and toes on the same line. Flex your foot, sometimes helps with balance. So you can either look like a letter T with your arms at the height of the shoulders, or like a letter Y if you have more flexibility. Bring your leg up higher. Lean a little bit to your left, so again, you keep your same line with the toes and fingers. If it's too much to hold your foot, you can't get it straight, you can hold it underneath the knee and just extend out through the inside of the foot to get the leg as straight as you can. Now, if you hold the breath, engage leg muscles, let go of the foot, try not to drop the foot. Good, now swing the leg down, but don't touch the ground. So you can come right into eagle from here. So bend your left knee so you can get your belly on your thigh, your head's about the height of the knee. And bring your leg up and back, arch your back, bring your head forward. Your foot's higher than the head. If you lose your balance, you can just bring your index fingers to the ground. Imagine you're that great, magnificent bird soaring through the air. And from here, press into your left foot and come back. Now try it on the other side now, on the other foot. Press down, anchor down through the right foot, press the edges of the feet and the toes, pressing into the mat. Take hold of the heel, bring the leg out, exude all the grace and poise of a ballet dancer. Again, you can bring the foot up higher if you have more flexibility, or modify as you need to, hold on to the knee. If you fall out of it, just come right back up. Don't worry about the results. It's the effort that's most important. And then hold your breath. Engage the muscles so that the leg doesn't drop down. go of it slowly. And now bring a leg down, keep the leg muscles engaged so it doesn't come crashing down. Bend your right knee. Get your belly down onto your thigh. Sweep the arms out to the side like the great wings of an eagle. Try to get your left foot up higher. Open up the chest. Your weight is over the front foot. Your hip is right over the heel. Then press into your right foot. Hold the breath and coming back up. Okay, we'll do one more here. Standing on your left foot. Take your right knee up. A little bit easier to hold the ankle when your leg's in front, and then pull a foot back. So depending on your ability, you might stay right here with your arm up and your thighs together. If you can, bend your left knee a little bit, tilt forward, and then push the foot away from your body, straighten out the front leg. Try to have your thigh level to the ground. If you want, you can see if you can take your left hand down, bend your left leg. If it's too much, stay upright. And then open up a little bit, like you're doing a Dharma bow pose. Push the right shoulder back. Those who want can look forward. And then hip is over the heel. Hold your breath. Take your left hand up off the ground. Onto your heart. Maybe even pull the foot in towards the seat so you can take the foot with both hands. And push the foot back into your hands again. Arch the back. And then release. Bring the left hand down and come back down. Good. So if you found that very difficult, you can just again stay upright. Okay, stand on your right foot now. Bring the right, push the right foot down. Bring the left knee up to hold the ankle and just pull the foot up and behind your seat. You can stay here the whole time. Concentrate on steadiness. And then if you want, however, you can bend your right leg. Keep your breath even, keep your focus on a point. Once the foot's far away from the body, straighten out the standing leg again. You can stay here, or bend your right knee, move slowly, pull heel in towards the seat, take the right hand to the ground. If you have a block nearby, you can also take your hand to the block and push the foot up again. Open up to the right, try to get your knee up. Your foot as far away from your head as possible. Now you can stay here, you can look forward and down. Make sure the hip is right over the heel. Hold your breath. Bring your right hand to the heart. You hold your breath so you can keep your muscles engaged. And if you want, you pull your toe closer to the seat. Take your right hand to the foot as well. Now, pull heel in towards the seat. Right hand down. And the left foot down. And coming back up. Good. Now, stand in the middle of the mat. From here, bring you're facing along into the mat. Your fingers together at the height of the elbows and jump your feet apart. Go to your left. Sink down to the seat. Try to get nice and low. Your back knee is close, so just a few inches from the ground. Work your hips a little bit. Be strong and steady like the warrior. Now swing the right arm up to meet the left. Virabhadrasana 1. Now if your hip is still turned to the right, you can lift your back heel. If it's too much, you can even bring your shin down on the ground. Reach up high, express the devotion of the warrior to their duty to serve their people, to protect them. Now lower the knee down, flatten out the toes, Kapiyasana. Pull the body up by the hips a little bit more by pulling your arms up. Rock shoulders back and forth. Try to get your arms behind your ears. Arch the back. Imagine the index fingers going over the back toe. If you know other variations, go ahead. Some of you might know swan pose. You can bring the right foot up. Take hold of the foot, bring it into the arm, bring your fingers close to the ear, lean towards the leg. Then lock your fingers together, lift your wrist. Turn the wrist up and slip your hand over your head to the other side. Push the foot away from your shoulder. Again, for advanced practitioners. Pull the foot in towards the seat, release the foot. Now from here, bring your hands to the inside of the left foot, move the left foot out to the edge of the mat. And see if you can drop down. If your hips are low to the ground, you can maybe drop down to the forearm, the right hip. Roll back to your left. Try to get both sides of the hips even. So, not like this. Try not to have the knee falling out to the side, or like this with your knee close to your foot far away. Try to have your foot and your knee in the same line. Keep scooching the right foot back. If you can't get your hip down, it's too high, just sink your hips down like they were weighted. Imagine the cobra pose and just try to get the same heaviness of the hips. When your hips are anchored down, the rest of the body will follow more easily. Those who are flexible might be able to keep creeping your chest forward until your belly comes down. Eventually your chest comes down. You try to get your back lower than the knee. If you know other variations, go ahead. If you're flat on the ground, you can take your left arm around over the foot from the outside, underneath the leg, and your right hand comes over the back, and you join your hands together. Hold the right wrist. Again, if you're flat on the ground. Be like a lizard sunning himself on a warm earth. And coming back onto your hands. Push your hip back here. Bring the left foot in a little bit. Peel your toes up off the mat and bow to your leg. Try to get your shoulder should be beside your knee. Your right hip is over the right knee. Your left hip is in line with the right hip as well. Now from here, bring your seat forward if you like. If you're already at your edge here, you can stay here. If you can, Hanumanasana, bring your seat all the way forward. Slide your left heel forward. So from your back knee to the front knee, straight line, bring your shoulders back over the hips. Your hands are beside your hips. And you keep on pulsing. Imagine you're trying to stretch the mat with your heel. Your front heel, your back, base of the toes. If you come all the way down, go ahead. And this pose expresses faith. Anything is possible. You can bring your arms over the head. Hanumanasana, embody the courage, the faith, the devotion of that, of Hanuman. Look up. And then release. Now from here, press into your hands, lean forward, and slide your left foot back. So your legs are like a box here. Come upright. Your shoulders are over the hips. Your front leg at a right angle, the bended toes under and the back foot. Raise your right arm up. And so options, if you want, can either just bring your hand to the outside of the knee, your left hand on its seat, push into seat and pull down. Turn your chest all the way to your left. If you want, you can lean back a little bit. Try to bring your left hand onto the heel, on the outside of the heel, and push your hips forward so the shoulders again stay over the hips. If this is where your edge is, you stay here. If you want to go further, Parivritta Parsvakonasana. Right arm comes up, angle the toe of the knee towards the right, and try to get your armpit down on the outside of the knee. Left hand pushes into your right. Push the left hand down on the right so the belly comes higher. The belly Center of the chest eventually comes to your thumbs, and then you have more room to spin when your belly is free. You're not caught up against the leg. Bring the left shoulder back. Try to get your left shoulder on top of the other one, maybe even further. So it looks like you're lying on the back. Eventually, if you want, you can take the bind as well. Move your seat back a little bit. Use your left hand if you need to. Guide your right hand underneath your left leg. Throw your left arm over the back. Lock your fingers together or hold the left wrist. Hold your breath. Take the knee up off the ground if you can on that right leg and keep tugging on your arms. Lots of things happening in this pose. This is an amazing pose that brings about so many benefits. Creates so many different effects in the body. And now break the pose. Come back with your hands on the inside of the foot and then move back towards your hands between your feet. Arms out to the side and come up. Go to the right. Turn around. And then lean into the stretch. Come forward with a sense of determination and intention to serve. No hesitation in your duty. Bring your left hand up to meet the right. Virabhadasana. Modify as you need to, again, according to your condition of your body, your abilities. Bring your knee down, flatten out the toes. Kapayasana. Rock your shoulders back and forth. Bring your hips all the way forward and down towards your front heel. Lift the heart, radiate your light. Think of that crescent moon and try to realize the shape with your body. No bend in the arms, so there's no kinks in that line from point to point. Now you can stay here, or if you know the swan, you can go ahead. Bring your left foot up. The foot comes a little bit in front of the body a little bit. And then lock your fingers together, wrist is facing up. And then pull your arm to the outside of the head, other side of the head, and push your foot into your arm. Every posture and offering. Break the pose. Pull the foot in towards your shoulder, so let it down softly. Move the right foot out to the edge of the mat. And if your hip is already low to the ground, fall on your hip and fall on your left forearm. And roll back to the right. If you need to stay on your hands, stay on your hands. But just try to imagine your hips are made of lead. So heavy. Fix your gaze like a lizard. Doesn't blink. Keep your chest moving forward. Keep lengthening so that the more the body lengthens, the closer it comes to the ground. Take any variation if you like. Feel flat on your chest. Your right shoulder is on the foot. You can take your arm around the outside and underneath your knee and join your hands over your back. And then release. Come back onto your hands. Move the right foot in a little bit. In towards the center, lift your toes, and then come down. Your hip is over the knee, your hips in line with one another. Imagine you're trying to get your chest beyond the knee. All the attention to the base of the spine, and just keep visualizing the spine growing longer and longer. Again, stay here if this is already at your edge, or lift your chest. Bring your seat forward in equestrian pose and slide your right heel forward. Sometimes it's easier to bring your foot right up off the mat. Move your hands back. And so again, the knee, left knee, and the right knee in the same line. And just keep on trying to pulse. Come up a little bit so you try to squeeze the mat between your feet and then extend the mat between your feet. Eventually your legs can come all the way down. And all the way down, you can take your arms up. Hanumanasana. You have to keep going to the edge of your potential every time, so you keep redefining that edge. Otherwise, you stay in the same place in your practice. If you don't make progress, you lose your enthusiasm and then you just fall off the wagon. But keep up the efforts. And then from here, break the pose. Bring your hands down, lean forward, push into your fingertips, drag the right foot back. And come back up. Your legs are like a box here. Raise the left arm up. Go to the outside of the right leg. Right hand pushes into your left. If your hands are near the shoulders, it's an indication that you need to push down into your hands. And when you push down, the body comes up, the belly is higher than the thigh, and then you can spin with less obstruction. Pull the right shoulder back. If you want to take a line, push the seat back so you have a lot of distance between the front foot and the back knee, and then gives a little bit more room, more length for the left arm come underneath the leg. Guide it through with your right hand. The right hand comes over the back. You can pull the hand out even more if you need to. So you can join your hands underneath your belly. Either lock your fingers together or take your right wrist to your left hand. Take your knee up off the ground if you can. You can do this without the bind as well, with your hands still in Anjali Mudra. And from here, move your hands back in front. Come into plank position. Vasisthasana. Move your left hand in front of your nose. Spin towards the right. Arms in the same line. Make sure you're not dropping down into your shoulder or letting your hips sag. Push your hips up. If it's too much, you can just bring your left knee down. But keep your hips high. If you cross your ankles, it's a little bit easier here. And then go to the other side. Move back to plank. Move the right hand more towards the center, towards the left, in front of your nose, and come up. Straight line from hand to hand, hips high. Now from here, come back to plank position. Lower your right knee down first, swing your foot out to your left, and bring your left knee in behind it. The toes of the left foot comes out to the right. So you're sitting between your heels now. If this is too much, you have a couple of options. You can either lean to one side and bring your left leg out in front. Your knees still stacked on top of another. Or if it's too much, you just sit on your heels like this. Okay, so just with your thighs together. So whichever position you're taking here, sit tall, raise your right arm up, working the shoulders. Use your left hand to guide the elbow up higher and push it back behind the head. Push the fingertips into the back of the heart like you're lifting up from underneath, like an offering. Holding it in your hands, holding your heart in your hands for all, and just sending out the love to all beings. If you can join your hands together behind the back. Try to get your elbows in line with one another. Your head centered in between. Be mild in your expression. If your eyes are popping out of your head, it might be an indication you're working a little bit too hard. So come back again to a place where you're not in pain or in a state of anxiety or distress or suffering. Keep on thinking of the others that you're serving through your practice and who are experiencing this through your body and your mind and your emotions. And then release. Shake out the shoulders if you like. From here, walk your way back into plank position. Lower the left knee down, swing your foot out towards the right, and then the right knee comes right in behind. Sitting again in the position you like, or stay sitting on your heels, and then your left arm comes up. Push the elbow up higher, and push it back behind your head. Try to anchor the arm in place with your head, the back of the head. And then if you want, you can take the right arm up. No forcing. You can always use this to a place again where you're going to a place of pain. Join your hands together if you can. Use a strap if you like. Push into the back of the heart. And then release. Tuck your chin in. Shake it out. Now from here, untangle your legs. Maybe one more round of Vasisthasana. So if you know variations this time, you can try them. Come into plank. I like to start from downward facing dog actually, because your hips are already up to start, and this is a good entry into the advanced postures variations. So if you want, you're going on to your left hand and left foot first, spin towards the right. You can stay in Vasisthasana or continue. Slide your right toes back. Push down the toes. Your toes are right alongside the left knee. Push your hips right up. Move your left foot in a little bit. Make sure the base of the big toe is grounded. Make sure your left arm is fully extended as well. So that you're anchored down through the inside edge of the foot and the hands. So you can take your right foot up off the ground easily, or more easily. Take hold of the knee. And if you want, you can reach for the foot. Push your hips up. Remember, you can also do this from your knee, remember. So you can, if you're doing it from your knee, you can lower down. And from here, you can just do this. You can even take your foot up and pull it back. So lots of different options you can do. Okay, so again, give it a try. If you want to come all the way into Urdhva Dhanurasana, you spin on the heel of your palm. If your right hand can touch the ground, you just keep spinning until your hands and your feet land beside one another. Now return. Spin the left heel of the palm, keep your hip high. Return to plank, downward facing dog, and go right to the other side. Make like you're doing a dance. All the transitions smooth and graceful. Use your breath to expand the body just in the same way as the guru. The teacher expands the student's mind. Push your hips way up, as though you're trying to get your hips right over your knee. And then when your body is high, your hips are high, a little bit more ease to take the weight up off your left foot. You can take your knee right up, maybe even a foot. Or right into Urdhva Dhanurasana, spin on the heel of the palm. If your left hand can touch the ground, you can just turn all the way into your Urdhva Dhanurasana. And then go back. Spin on the right heel of the palm, keep your hip high, your right arm extended. Back into downward facing dog. Again, exude that beautiful quality of the dog, the loyalty to its master. The head comes down, the heart sinks. Good. Now from here, you can stay here if you feel comfortable. Bring your elbows beside your head. And then here you can see if you can come even further. So you might need to open your elbows a little bit. If you have flexible neck, you don't have any neck or shoulder issues, you can see if you can get the tops of the shoulders almost to the ground in front, like you're about to fall into plow. If this is too much, you bring your knees down and you keep your hips up over your knees, rabbit pose. If it's really uncomfortable in the back of the neck, you just move your head forward. Okay, coming onto your top of the head. Push the belly button right through the lower back. Good. Now from here, you can come into headstand or you can come into teddy bear if you like. So if you're doing that position before where you're just stretching the back of the neck, if you want, near lambasana, you take your hands in front as though you're doing downward facing dog, but widen your stance so that your hands are beyond the edges of the mat. And you can see if you can lift one leg up and go back behind the back and see if you can come up. Okay, again, if you're pretty comfortable in headstand, this is an option. Eventually bring your legs together. If it's too much, you bring your hands in front. This is a little bit more accessible. Make a wide base, bring your hands way in front so that you have more balance. Your chest is open, and sometimes
When you bring your leg back, it's a little bit easier to come up because sometimes the flexibility of the hips doesn't allow you just causes you to hunch. So this keeps you a little more open. You bring the foot that's behind you close to the ground behind you, so it's again low-hanging fruit. And then you just eventually you can get, if you keep pushing through the back foot, eventually your feet will be at the same height. If this is too much, teddy bear. You can stay on your fingertips if you like. From here, your fingertips in line with the knees. Lift your seat. Try to get your feet forward as close to your wrists as possible so that your hips are over your shoulders. And then just rest your knees just underneath against your elbows. See if you can dance from one toe to the other. Maybe even flick your toes away from the ground. Eventually you can bring your toes up. You can do it with your hands flat on the ground as well. Make sure they're not beside your head. They're in front where you can see them. 20 more seconds to play or to stay where you're at. Be like the witness watching everything. Have no expectations, no judgment as to what you accomplish or do not accomplish. Just try your best. Come down. Child's pose. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Relax. Now coming back up. So from here, sit to one side. Bring your legs out in front. And scooch to the front of the mat. So now we're coming into shoulder stand. Easiest way to come in, tuck your chin in. Lift your feet, press into your arms, and send your feet back behind your head. Then try to join your hands together. Behind your back, from the front, you can't see your arms anymore. And see if you can get your wrists together, your elbows closer together. So from here, you bring your hands on your back. Don't move the elbows. Try to keep your elbows close. Come up one leg at a time. As your leg is coming up, really push into your back, hips forward, so you're form a straight line from the toes to your chin. And then you bring the other leg up, you're already in position, just like that. If your elbows are not right behind your back, you can, and you can't get your legs up all the way, just do what you can. You can keep your feet, your legs at an angle. You can even bring your hands, your seat on your hands and your legs straight up. Okay? Or a bridge. Heels close to your seat and push your chest up towards your chin. This is a good, it's almost the same form in that the chest is close, it looks like a wall. And your heart is still higher than the head, so it's still an inversion of sorts. Okay, so take the pose that you're able to. If you have a lotus, come into your lotus. And then once you find the pose, be very still. If you're right on top of the shoulders, you can also take your hands to your thighs, whether your legs are straight or in lotus. Push your knees higher than your hips if you're in Padmasana. Merge with the form. Find stillness. Now very slowly, without letting your mind wander if possible, if you're in lotus, your lotus comes onto your belly, and you can join your hands. You can take a bind if you like. Wrap your arms around the outside of the thighs, join your hands underneath the seat. If you don't have a lotus, come back into plow. And then if you like, you can even bring your thighs down against your body. Your knees come down onto your shoulders, maybe even to the ground eventually. Your seat has to be right over your shoulders. If your feet don't come all the way down, keep your hands on your back. provide stability. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deep within, beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. Getting ready to come down. So we're going to try something different, couch pose. I'll demonstrate that first, so if you don't know couch pose, just take a look up here. If you just do not doing it for you, you can do fish. So you come with your hands on your back again, come down 1 foot at a time into bridge. So keep your hands firmly on your back, come down 1 leg at a time, 1 foot stays behind your head, and try not to land your feet down heavily. 1 foot and then the other, keep your hips up. Okay, so now you're in bridge, bring your heels together, but keep them up and walk forward. Creep forward on your waddle forward on your shoulders and elbows until your elbows are close to your heels. Take hold of the ankles, sit on your heels, and now push into your elbows. Lift your back up off the ground. Your head comes up, tilt forward, and then see if you can get your knees to the ground. And then from here, bring your head back, top of the head to the ground. You can keep holding on to your ankles, or just take hold of your opposite elbows in front of your forehead. So that's variation. If this is not possible because your knees or ankles, just bring your hands underneath your seat, stretch your legs out, tuck your shoulders under, and then lift your back up off the ground. Push your chest up, top head to the ground, fish pose. Now breathe very fast from nose like a sniffing dog. And from here, break the pose. Bring your head back down and relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remove all fatigue and imagine you're fainting. Right, so now from here, stay on your back. If you want, you can slide your left foot in a little bit and bring your right leg up. Your left foot's flat on the ground. Take hold of the ankle, the right leg, and pull your knee onto your shoulder. Your leg is bent to start, but then you start to straighten your leg as much as you can. Try to get your foot right close to your head. If at this point you can extend your left leg as well. If you're very flexible, you might be able to get your foot to the ground beside your head. So you have to move your foot out a little bit so that the knee is right in the armpit. Then you bring the foot down. According to your condition here. Now come into half happy baby pose. Your heel comes over the knee. Good, then you can see if you can bring your leg across the chest. Hold the foot with your left hand, or take in the crook of the arm and just bring your leg right down onto your chest. Eventually your shin might be close to your collarbone. Try to keep your heel and your knee in the same line. Of course, depending on your hip, you might have to have your heel a little bit closer to the belly button or the root of the spine. And from here, come back into half happy baby pose. You can stay here, or you can bring your right shoulder in front of your leg if you can. And push the back of the shoulder, the top of the shoulder into the back of the knee. Slide your left foot in, maybe even bring your knee right into your shoulder. And you have to wiggle a little bit. Raise your right hip up, try to get your right knee close to the ear. And push your foot back behind your head. Pull on the foot, and then maybe eventually your head can come in front of the foot. So lots of different actions, lots of different variations depending on your level. Take your attention to where you want to find release.
Your attention is like a magnet that will pull all the prana there, the vital force. Break the pose. Bring the right leg down. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then slide the right foot in if you need to. If you don't need to. It's just it provides a little bit more release if you have very tight hamstrings. You can keep your right leg extended on the ground if you like. And then bring your left leg up, take hold of the ankle, and bring your knee onto your shoulder first. Your leg is bent, but then try to pull on the ankle, try to get your legs straighter. If at any point you feel you can't, you can extend your right leg again. If you're more flexible, allow the foot to slip, the leg to slip the outside of the shoulder, your knees and the armpit. And try to get your foot to the ground, the side and behind your head a little bit. Going back to happy baby pose. And you can either stay here, or if you can, bring your shin across the chest. Hold the foot with your right hand, or bring the foot into the crook of the arm. Your left elbow just underneath the knee, and hug the leg, the shin to your body. Push your foot a little bit to the right. Feel it in your glutes a little bit. And then back into half happy baby pose. This time, if you like, with your shoulder in front of the leg, and you're pushing the top of the shoulder against the back of the knee. Okay, so you try to get your knee up higher, your left hip can ride up a little bit, and if you want, you can bring the right knee up into the body like a tuck. And then lift your head up off the ground, push the foot back behind your head, pull on it towards the right. And eventually you might get your head in front. The trick is to try to lift your knee up as much as you can so the knee's beside your ear. And then the foot doesn't have much farther to go, just back and just goes a little bit back and to the right. Release. Break the pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, come up to seated position, press into your arms, raise your legs up. Maybe you can bring them right behind the head and roll up, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, take hold of come into plow pose, lock your fingers, your two-piece fingers and your thumbs around the big toe, hold the breath and try to come up into Navasana. Try not to bend your knees. And keep holding onto your feet. Good. Now from here, lower your heels down, cross your ankles, make your way onto your belly. Starting off with Cobra. Roll the shoulders back. If you're limited in your back and belly, you can take hold of the front edge of the mat and pull on the mat. Try to feel the traction in the lower back as you pull the mat forward. Anchor down to the forearms and the lower body from the hips all the way down to your thighs and the tops of your feet. Stay here. Eventually, you can see if you can lift your elbows up off the ground. Take your head back. Make sure again you don't lose your neck. Keep your shoulders down. Bit by bit, you can maybe even let go of your mat. Come up. Scoot your hands in. One hand's length back at a time. Curve your spine. Walk your hands closer and closer. Feet together like the tail of a snake. The tail of a serpent doesn't have any feet, remember. Try to imitate the form. Imitation is a high form of reverence. please the teacher by copying them on all levels. And then roll down. Slowly, don't let the body come down heavily. Put your forehead on your hands, breathe in, breathe out. Good. And then here, you can do the same pose again, or bring your right arm across the front, take hold your left foot up, take hold the ankle, pull it up, and then keep pressing your ankle back into your hand, raise your other leg up and take hold of the ankle. Bow pose. If you need to, keep your thighs on the ground, push your chest up. You can even roll onto one side if it's too much. So if you don't, so if it's too uncomfortable, come on, do it from your belly, do it on your side. All right, now pull up if you're doing this pose. Let your feet guide you up. Pull through the feet. Allow the body to come up higher. Eventually your toes come over your head. Be proud and strong. Surrender to the pose. Hold a little bit longer. Exercise and cultivate fortitude. Now, if you rolled on one side, go to the other side. Stay up if you can. If you need to rest, come down, but don't stay too long. Otherwise, you lose momentum. Just stay for a couple of breaths and come up again. Rock a little if you like. You can come right on to your knees. And bring the pose, heels in towards the seat, relax. Breathe in. Breathe out all fatigue. Rest. Now, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press up. Bring your seats back onto your heels and roll up. Those same pose, but you're in another orientation, rapid pose, bend the toes under. From here, hands on your seat, push and seat, pull down, lift the chest, bring the head back. You can stay here the whole time, pressing through with your toes. If you feel you can, lean back a little bit, hold your breath, engage your thighs, right hand on your right heel, left hand on your left heel. And then bring your heels together, lock your baby fingers together, and then bring your hips, your thighs forward. As though you're about to fall on your thighs. Don't fall down. Don't stay upright. Stay up. And then to come out of pose, lean back, push into your heels. Shoulders come behind the heels. And then hands come back onto your seat. Push into your seat, come up. Bring your hands in front. Just behind your shoulders a little bit, closer to your knees. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, throw your face towards your belly button. And then flatten your toes, come up. So you can do rabbit pose again with your legs bent under, your feet bent under, I should say. If you want, you can come into camel. So you lean back again, start the same way, lean back. Engage your thighs, and if you can reach your feet, place your hands on the soles of feet, push your hips forward. Advanced practitioners, if you have more flexibility, you can do Kapotasana. So from here, if you want to go into Kapotasana, you can take your arms up, press your fingers together, palms together, bring them back behind your ears, and then hips forward, lean back, spread your fingers wide, and then keep your legs muscles strong, then your fingers find the ground, and then you might be able to bring your hands on the ground. Eventually, you can bring your hands to your toes. If you're very flexible, eventually your head lands in between your feet. That's for if you have a lot of mobility, okay? So again, go according to your condition. So Whichever pose you like, go ahead. Maybe another way is you can extend your arm, hold one elbow, keep your arm strong. Lean back, and if you're longer, you might find the floor a little bit more easily. Okay, and then you move your hands. You can stay like this if you like. Work out the edges of the mat. If you can't come from above, you just lie on your back first. Take hold of the mat in front of your head. Pull your head in a little bit behind your hands and then lift your head up. That's another way. Lots of different ways to come into the pose. So bit by bit you progress from the easier variations to the more challenging ones. Work mindfully. And then come out of the pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, depending where you are, lying on your back or on your front in child's pose, come back to seat position. Now from here, swing your legs around to the front. Adho Matsyendrasana. Left leg extended, right foot on the outside of the left leg from between the knee and the ankle. Right hand behind the back. This is the modified version. Left arm up. And bring your right arm, your left arm to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, push the lower back up and in. Turn to the right. Make sure you're not leaning back. Your hand should be right against your seat. Your back straight, your shoulders and your head in line with your hips. Try to imagine the spine spiraling upwards, spinning around itself, and then this might encourage you to turn more. Good. From here, if you like, you bring your left foot in, side crow. Move your left elbow to outside, close to your seat if you can. Lift your seat, bring your left hand down beside the right. Lean forward, your body is reaching forward, your hips to the height of the head. Allow your legs to sit on your arms. If you need to, you can bring your head down, right to the ground, right side of the head. If you want, you can even open up your legs with your head on or off the ground. Left leg goes back. And come back down. As Dharmaji says, not important. Once the mind gets acclimatized or used to the vision, and then maybe at some point they'll become comfortable trying it. The right leg extended this time, the left foot on the outside of the right shin. Go to your left. Push your lower back up and in. Telescope the neck out of the shoulders. Not just the eyes turn. Starting from the base of the hip, hips all the way up. Eventually your chin is over your shoulder. Coming back, if you like, again, side crow. Bring the feet together, knees together. Bring the right arm up. Lift your seat. Try to get your arm down, your elbow, get close to your hip. If it's too close to the knee, then your knees will fall off your arms. Okay, you'll slip right off your upper arm. You want to have your legs in the center of the upper arm, close to the shoulder. Come forward. Your left elbow is just pressing into your left hip, right against your hip. And you can bring your left side of the head down if you like. More points of contact make this pose a little bit easier. And then you can open up your legs, and you can even lift your head up off the ground with your, and then coming back down. Now lie on your back, Shavasana. Make your way down softly. No big heavy landings. Take a deep breath in here. Exhale, imagine you went unconscious.
Let go of all tension. Imagine all the muscles just dissolving into softness. Inhale, imagine beams of energy and light coming in, streaming into the body through the pores of the skin. Exhale, send it everywhere throughout your body, recharging the body, rejuvenating it, and just melting in that through that force of that light and energy coming in, just dissolving all the tension in the muscles, all the restrictions, all the feelings of blockage. Feel them melt under that force and the strength of that light and the energy coming in. Keep on feeling the best of the best, that light and energy, those beams coming into the body. And just penetrating to all the areas, all the realms, the physical, the mental, and the spiritual realms, to just melt away all the impurities. At the mental level, these impurities come in the form of ignorance. The ignorance of what the true self really is. Which is immutable, stainless, and pure, and cannot be observed by the senses. It's beyond the body, the mind, and the emotions. For all these have a finite time. They're useful in the sense that we learn, we gain experiences through these physical experiences, this life, this body. And we gain the knowledge that we need to move towards self-realization, where we see sameness everywhere, where we're not affected by pain and suffering, because we know that that's just the mind, the emotions, and the body that is suffering, that is feeling the pain. It's not you. Nor is the real you desiring or having those cravings. And then spiritually, feeling those beams come in and penetrating into all those areas or tendencies that cause you to stray from the ethical rules, yama and niyama. The observances that keep you on track, that keep you always in a state of loving kindness towards all beings, not just reserving for your friends and family. It must go out, it must extend to all beings everywhere. Seeing no forms as lower or higher. For self-realization, the sign of that is when you see sameness everywhere. And when you feel unconditional love towards all beings. Prepare to sit. Reconnect with the physical form, your body, this beautiful vehicle you've been given to exercise your mission to continue radiate love and light and peace to all beings and wisdom to all beings. Sit tall and supreme, and once you're seated,
close the practice with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within and send it to all beings everywhere. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the grace of God, always within. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful Easter. Sending much love to you. Thank you.